Zero Wars Issue 2 Comics. Here's everything a storyline important you need to know. Last comics, in the end, the Spider-Man sent Marvel heroes to help the Seven in the IO War. So in the start of this one, we see the Marvel heroes and the Seven and the Loopers together trying to fight against the IO. While right from here, we can see the similarities and the ego in Foundation and Iron Man in how both want to be the leaders of the war. And if you look closely, Order can fly just like Imagine without like a jetpack, just like Superman. So both Imagine and Order are not humans confirmed because like they can fly. Humans can do that. Foundation and Iron Man are start arguing with each other with like who's gonna give orders for the war because again they both have like massive egos, huge ego. But these two finally start liking each other and get along, and that is because of their armor or suits. As I have already explained, Foundation and Iron Man suits are really similar in like many ways, and both are like impressive good. They're really good. And the Iron Man rap we have gotten from this comic is actually called 7 Iron Man rap, making me think that Foundation and Iron Man will make a suit together for Iron Man, and it will be actually a skin coming in game in the future, and it's gonna be mix of like the 7 design and Iron Man. That's gonna look so sick. Iron Man agrees to only be the leader of Marvel heroes, and Foundation agrees to be only the leader of Loopers and the 7. Fight ended, friendship starts. Hell yeah! And we will see how the Foundation statue broke in the future comics. But now we skip time to after the first attack, and Io and the 7 are taking break from the battle. While at this moment, Foundation takes scientist Thor, Storm and Iron Man with him to the space. These 4 will go into a new 7 spaceship which I actually have not seen in game before, and they start flying to the ice moon. While Iron Man talking about only he gets to say Avengers Assemble. But nah, Captain Marvel just easily steals the line, and Iron Man is like, you know what? She's too strong, I'm not gonna fight with that. No, just don't worry. No! Now in this part of the comic, we'll leave the Foundation crew and go back to the people in the Marvel universe. If you remember, it was John Jones, Wolverine, and it was like Imagine and Spider-Man together. And they were looking for the Zero Shard in the Marvel universe so they can use that thing and supercharge the mech. Imagine finds the signal to the Zero Shard in Wakanda, so they go there, but Wakanda guards, they're like, these are strangers. No, stop it. So the guards try to protect Wakanda, and actually here we see some new Imagine powers. Hand blasters, kinda cool. John Jones tries to kill the guards by a grenade launcher. Dumb. But since these guards are good people, Spider-Man starts John Jones. Well, not fully. The grenade still hits Wolverine, and it like opens a damn hole on his stomach. You can legit see inside of his body now. Gross. Another thing that shows no one in the 7 is a human being or is not like as weak as one except like Visitor. We see that by how the Imagine shows off her super strength while holding a whole damn panther robot in the air. God, she's strong. Shuri comes to see what's going on, and Shuri is Black Panther's sister. And yes, she will be a skin coming into Fortnite really soon. She allows Spider-Man and Wolverine in, but is worried about who Imagine and Jones are because like she has never seen them before. So Wolverine has to explain everything about the 0 point and all to her. They tell Shuri how they think the Zero Shard is in Wakanda. Shuri tells them how the energy they're tracking might be just vibranium energy, and how maybe the 0 point is interested in this element, but whatever it is, that shard is not in Wakanda anymore. So she starts to explain the history of vibranium to everyone, and at the middle of that, Jones gets interested in taking a piece of it just for his own researches. But right after he says that, Minigun Red does point at him. If he touches any, he's gonna be dead, like dead. Wolverine says how he is now sure the Zero Shard is not in Wakanda because he remembers the smell of the 0 point when he was in the Zero reality at like season 4, but that smell is nowhere in Wakanda. Shuri talks about how there are many lizard and dinosaurs around Wakanda trained by Killmonger, and how these lizards might have been the ones who stole the Zero Shard. Now in this part, since all the characters are covered in dark shadow, I'm guessing the person who's seeing dinosaurs for the first time and wanting to get selfies with them is John Jones, and the one saying I've talked to them is probably Shuri. The other one saying how he has seen a dino is probably a Spider-Man because he explains to us in the future how one of his enemies is a damn dino human. And we know that Wolverine was not part of this conversation because he gets like sick of it, so like that explains why he wouldn't be. But he gets sick of this confirmation because he can sense enemies around him. And my man Sense saves John Jones from death. These enemies somehow are the ninja lizards from season 8. Last time we saw them, they were working for the Fire King and they have a full lizard dragon form. So I'm wondering if they're still working for Fire King and Fire King maybe is returning soon in the future to the story, or Killmonger found them and made them his pets, or maybe Geno is working with them now. Then Shuri breaks one of their masks and see how they're actually lizard ninjas. Ugly! One of the lizards start running away really fast, making the group thinks he's really important. So they try to catch him, but my man blows himself up. He was probably hiding something that probably he didn't want the heroes to know. Things like maybe his boss has a zero shard? Maybe? In the end, they talk about how the hybrids might have been controlled or sent by a Dino Man, which makes the Spider-Man remember one of his enemies, Stegron the Dino Man. Such a weird name! So Spider-Man says how he thinks the Dino Man has probably the zero shard, and for that they need to head into the Savage Land, filled with dinos and danger, which we will see this in the next comic at issue 3. For now we go back to the Foundation crew. Thor and Storm were taken into the Ice Moon so they could manipulate the weather, stop the terrible snowstorm, or make it weaker so the group can reach the Ice Moon safe without dying. The storm of the Ice Moon makes it impossible to live in there and only livable for Ice King, his monster, and the Queen. Now that Thor and Storm make the weather better, Iron Man Foundation and the scientists head into the Ice Moon, which we finally learn how the Ice Moon is the Zero Reality's moon. So this is space outside of the Zero Reality. All of this is the Zero Reality, and the main part is the middle thing. The group unsafely land in the Ice Moon but are fine because their suits are built to work in this space as well. And they start searching for Paradigm's mech, which was left alone here in the Ice Moon right after season 9's event. They finally find the mech and start thinking about how they could fix it, make it stronger to fight against the IO. And while doing that, Foundation goes to check inside of the pilot room, finding Paradigm left alone for years but thankfully alive. This might kind of show us how Paradigm was not part of the 7 rockets in season 10 and she has actually been stuck in the Ice Moon since season 9. Because like, why would she, and how exactly would she be able to return to this place after season 10? Why would she go from her rocket back into the head of this mech for no reason in the coldest place possible? That makes zero sense. So probably someone else took her place in the season 10 live event. But this moment makes me really mad about Foundation and all of the 7. They knew Paradigm was not talking to them. They knew she was lost. Paradigm is legit one of their friends, and she was left alone here in the Ice Moon since season 9 to die, which means she's been here from season 9, season 10, all of chapter 2 and chapter 3, season 1 and 2. That's a lot of time. The 7 are the most terrible friends you can ever have, legit. Which again, this shows how Paradigm is not a human being as well. If she was a human, she would be dead by now. She's like an alien superpower type of person. But the guilt that the 7 feel after seeing the Paradigm left alone here to die. This is exactly why Paradigm was able to join in season 2's event. And this is why Origin was so nice to Paradigm in season 2's event.
Leading the mission will be the finest mech captain in all reality. She'll be behind the controls. You and your team will be on weapons. The bridge is yours, Paradigm.
They are the reason she was about to die. Garbage friends. Ew. Thanks to Tabor Hill for sharing the comics so I can explain parts of it. And whenever the next comics come out, like issue 3, I will make videos on those as well. So if you want those, make sure to subscribe.